Hello, 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 and welcome back to This Is Me Attitude Podcast with your one and only host, me, Rachel Hills, a 20-year-old something girl, just trying to figure this crazy life out and bringing you along the way on this awesome adventure. So let's dive into another episode. Wow, there's been a lot of new things going on in my life and very positive things, and I am very excited for all these changes. And with these changes has brought on today's topic, which is all about setting healthy boundaries and the fact that doing this for my life and for myself has been amazing in this transitioning period that I'm in with jobs, with creating a new online business, and all of the different things. And if you want more info on that, definitely go follow me over on Instagram and connect with me there. I love to talk to all of you listeners over there. So that's where it's at. Moving into today's topic, confidence in myself and having boundaries. Yes, I highly, highly recommend that you have boundaries set in place for yourself. And when I say boundaries, I don't mean like, oh my gosh, there's a ceiling, I can't be successful past that point and that is impossible. No, I mean boundaries in the fact that if you don't want to be out past 11 o'clock at night on a weekday, don't be out past 11 o'clock on a weekday. That's your boundary. For me, on weekdays, I'm going to talk about this a little bit later because I'm going to put it into steps as I usually do in most episodes, but on weekday nights, I'm in bed by 10 p.m. because I need, my 8 hours of sleep to function the next day. So, getting a little sidetracked, let's move into the 3 steps, and possibly 4, that I will list, and then we'll talk more about. Alright, enough of this chit-chat. Let's dive in to the juicy, awesome stuff of this episode. Having more time with setting my boundaries is number 1. Number 2, weekdays I'm exhausted, and like I said before, my butt's in bed by 10 p.m. on most weeknights. Number 3, getting up at 5 a.m. and having my morning routine. So let's start with those 3 because if I can get to it, I have a 4th, but we'll see what happens. Number 1, with having more time with setting my boundaries, I live by my planner. Everything that I do in my life gets written down in my planner or on my phone calendar. 1, I have 3 different jobs right now that I'm maneuvering through, so that's part of it. The other is once it's in my planner, it's very rarely that I take it out, and that is my boundary in the fact that I don't overschedule myself anymore, because there was a time in my life that I think I could do everything all at once and ended up burning myself out. With saying that, I also know that I need a day of rest. It might not be the same day every week, but I know that I need to take a day off of work, off of pushing myself, off of pretty much everything, and just relax. And that is one thing that I really understood as I'm moving into this new position and not being a server anymore, and talking to my new bosses and just flat out telling them that I needed that and not being afraid to set that as my boundary. So, number 1. Setting boundaries and the fact that you don't always need to work. You need time for rest. Number 2, going to bed at a good time. This has done so much for me because it has put a schedule in place for me just regularly now that I'm tired by that time. And my body's used to going to bed at that time, and I'm used to getting up earlier then. And it's just worked out a lot better. Sorry, I was holding my breath there for a second. Don't know why. Number 3, getting up at 5 a.m. and having a morning routine. First of all, if you have not read the book 5 a.m. Club, I highly, highly, highly recommend that book. That's where I got the 5 a.m. wake up time from, and have implemented some of the things from that book into my morning routine with working out, with gratitude, with all those things. And another thing that you could listen to is one of my previous episodes about my morning routine, which goes into the full detail of what I do every day. Mind you, it changes here and there, but for the most part, it stays somewhat the same as what I talk about in the episode. But my morning routine is everything to me. I know that if you've listened to this podcast, you probably listen to other entrepreneur podcasts and things like that that talk more about morning routines and how important they are. that's no lie. They are very important because it sets your day up for positive. It sets your day up to have energy. And I've noticed that in myself once I have my workout in and my gratitude done and things like that. Like, I just feel so much better and ready to tackle the day. Number 3. That's one I just talked about. Just kidding. I'm getting all over the place. I meant to say number 4. I am usually relaxing or done with working at home by 9 p.m. And that gives myself an hour to have that time just to either talk to my boyfriend or just read a book or just chill in whatever aspect that is. And then it also sets my mind up to say, oh, hey, like, we're done working for the day. We're going to go into relaxing and then falling asleep by 10. Again, I'm not perfect. These times change, but this is just a rough example of what I do. And giving yourself that hour, at least I've noticed, it makes a big difference because then you actually fall asleep faster and your body is at a more relaxed state. So, to wrap this all up, boundaries, whatever they are for you, I highly suggest you put them in place. If that's you have to take your dog out for a walk every single day in the morning and can't do anything before 10 a.m. If it's you have to go for a run or if you have to do whatever, I highly, highly suggest you sit down and really think about what your goals are and what you want out of your life and put boundaries in place to make those achievable because you are simply amazing and you can do this. And that's it for today. We did it! We made it through another episode. Thank you so much for taking time out of your crazy busy schedules to listen to me and what I have to say. I would love to see if this connects with you. If you want to hear more about boundaries, if you want to hear more about one of the other episode topics I've talked about, let me know over on Instagram if I could talk. Go follow me at Rachel Fun Hills, and if this resonates with you, go share it with a friend. That's the best way that we can get this message out and the best way that we can start believing in ourselves and moving forward. So again, thank you so much.